So a few months ago, I was in need of a new vehicle because I was no longer using my 14-year-old SUV. With the prices so high due to the pandemic, I knew I did not want to pay new car prices. So I searched online and found this salvage 2012 Nissan Altima with 88,000 miles for $2,900. After auction and broker fees, the total came out to $3,700. As you can see, the passenger fender, front bumper, headlight, and tire were all damaged. The good news, the rim was intact. Unknown to me was the damage to the tie rod and the front shock that I had to get replaced some weeks later. In this short series, I will show you how I removed all the damaged parts, ordered new parts online and got them painted and installed them all in my driveway. Little disclaimer here, I'm not a mechanic. Should you need this kind of work done, I suggest you find a mechanic shop near you. Let's get into this project. First, I started by disassembling the headlight and put it to the side. It was pretty damaged, so it was pretty much useless. Then after that, I put the wiring harness to the side, made sure I identified what all the wires went to. The next thing I did was to start disassembling the fender. This took quite a while because the fender was pretty much bent all sorts of shapes, and I spent quite a good amount on this fender. It is not as easy as it looks. As you can see, I'm unratcheting the fender away from the fender mount, and I had to use some elbow grease to try to pull it back. It was this was a lot of force. This vehicle must have impacted probably a sidewall or something like that, and all this stuff was completely bent. In fact, that fender support, I had to order a new one and install it. Fortunately, the rest of the frame, the rest of the car was actually fine. It's just really this side pieces that were bent out of shape. Another thing I learned was that these fenders, when they're installed, although they're screwed on, actually on the side from the top to the bottom, they're glued on. So while I was, hammering away and trying to peel this back, in addition to the screws, I didn't know that there was glue underneath everything. This is one of those moments when you realize how much you don't know. I was going back and forth and did not realize there were screws in the door frame that needed to come off before I can actually take off this fender. And as you can see, I don't have like sharp tools, so I'm using one of those tool kits from, I don't know, I got it from Home Depot or something like that, and just taking it, one screw at a time, and hopefully get all this stuff off. I think at this moment I realized that I needed to turn the wheel to create more space behind the wheel well so that I can get underneath and try to remove some of the screws that were holding this fender in place. Yes, I managed to get the bottom plastic cover off that was holding the bottom rail, which is also another plastic cover. Got them off. Now the fender is actually free, but then of course there are more screws, and this part actually took a little bit more time. I'm going to fast forward the video here for a second. Unfortunately, I didn't capture video with the fender coming off, but we switch on to the next day. All right, the light is off. The front fender is off. I'm not gonna work on the bumper today, but I think we're making progress. Next, I'm gonna install this headlight. Then I'm gonna wait until I get a quote from Mako and a couple more other auto body painting shops to see if somebody can give me a better quote on painting the bumper and the fender. Technically, those are the only two things. As you can see, in addition to the screws, there is some glue that goes on the side. All these railings were bent. Kind of straighten them out. This was frame right here. It's kind of bent. Kind of straighten that out. Everything else looks pretty steady. It looks like it's got knocked out the socket, but looks like it's I don't gotta really move it too much. Just gotta move it up a little bit and it's in place. Then the next is the headlight. Alright friends, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you can catch the next installment of this short series. In the next video, I will be installing the headlight, repairing the wire harness, aligning the windshield wiper fluid reservoir, among other things. Catch y'all next week. Enjoy your weekend.